Hi everyone again, we're here today with Eric and his D4 SVX. We're going to be rating this, we're going to take a little look round it, we're also going to take a look at how it's operating off-road. Let's do a quick preview now. So Eric, let's have a look at the front first of all. I can see you've got a bit of a different looking winch setup in here. What have you got there?
Yeah, so that's a worn Xeon 12S Platinum. So it's a fully remote winch, so the remote clutch and operation, the wireless remote sits in the cab. It's on an isolator inside the bonnet. It's a £12,000 winch on synthetic rope.
Yep.
And it's on a Pro Speed plate, so it's all nicely tucked in. You don't have to reach in any tight gaps to try and operate a clutch lever. Everything's all tucked in there, nicely out the way.
And I can see as well, I'm sure Brian's going to be upset because also I can see that you're going to be able to beat him on the off-road rating already on some of these lights you've got here. You've got a laser set up here.
Yeah.
And what's these ones at the top as well?
Yes, we've got laser ST4s in the Zunsport grille, and up on the top we've got Lumina Predator lights, which are a long distance spotlight. These are more of a flood, so these are spot flood combo, and they're just a pure long distance spot.
And you use these on the road or ever, or that's sort of blind everyone?
I'll use the grill ones on the road when it's clear. Those ones I very rarely touch because they're almost too bright really for even off-roading. They actually light up the window a bit, so I need to sort something out with that.
Are they get one of those bonnet stickers to stop the glare off of the front?
Bonnet stickers on there. But yeah, generally for road use they're pretty good.
So let's get it out of the way now and have a look at these wheels and tyres. Harv, come and have a look around at this, because I know you said there's still some work ongoing for us to do the wheel arches.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a set of open country 275 70R18s on there, so they're about the biggest I've seen anywhere. Yeah,
they're 33.3 I think, so they're pretty tall tyre. I've had everything from standard 19, 255, 55, all-terrain Duratrax, and slowly the more off-roading that I've done, the more off-road bias tyres I've gone for. So I previously had BF Goodrich mud terrains, and now I've moved on to these Toyos, and they've been excellent, absolutely excellent.
And I noticed you've done some things on suspension. It's not just fit on. You've got, Harvey, I'm sure you'll be able to get a shot of that in a minute. You've got some extenders in the top there for the...
Yeah, so we've got a 2.5 inch bump stop extension from Lucky 8 in the States. That comes with a limiting strap as well to stop overextension downwards. Basically the idea being that with the larger tyres, the 33s, if you were to go on bump stops through a suspension fault or whatever else puts them on bump stops, you're not going to be sat hard on the inner arch, and you are going to be able to continue driving. It might be uncomfortable, but it'll get you out of trouble.
And you said as well you got some Johnson rods fitted to that, or some adjustment, because already you can see if I compare that to the D3, I've got mine on super jacked up as high as it can possibly go at the moment, but yours already at that height looks pretty high.
Yeah, so there's a extension rod in there. They're from Land Rover Passion. I do also have an easy lift kit, currently not fitted, but the extension rods are just to maintain the standard air pressure within the spring itself, keep the same ride quality and comfort. I'm also running a lift currently with the IID tool, which is a multi-purpose lifesaver really for the Disco. So that's running, I think, about 1.5 inch lift. You naturally get clearance, gain clearance from that.
And we've got a set of comp motive for 18 inches, and do I see some 30mm spacers on there?
Yeah, that's it, the 30mm spacers to clear the limiting straps from the modification work. The comp motives are actually offset themselves slightly, 43 offset, and they were, at the time I bought them, they were one of, or the only 18-inch wheel that had fitted Discovery 4's larger brakes.
Yep.
Now, I believe there's quite a lot out there. There's Tough Ant Steels, Evo Corsa Dakars. There's a whole range, a whole range out there at the minute.
Not to mention as well all the new Defender wheels as well that fit on as well. So
yeah, plus the new Defender wheels, which are quite a nice little addition.
Yep, and pretty cheap on eBay if anyone's looking for some.
Yeah.
And the big thing about this car, you tell me it's got ARB front and rear lockers in it. I don't think you can. I can't really see them underneath. I suppose it's covered over by that big guard.
It's all plated up and guarded. There's nothing really to see, apart from an airline which is behind the arch liner. The only thing you can really see to tell is the switches inside the cab, which are up on the roof.
Okay.
Up on the console.
Well, I saw those up in there as well. Now Harv can have a look at those in a minute as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you've got some other switches, those for the lights up there.
Light bars, lights on the roof, in the grille, and the rear work light on the ladder.
And looking through this little hole here,
yeah,
I see you've got a replacement washer bottle in there.
Yeah, that's it. So because of the size of the tyre and running the spacer, we've had to chop quite a lot out. So we've completely done away with the chassis horn, taken that back to the body mount, and we've had to trim up quite a lot of the plastic, as you can see. So it's a work in progress, but the reason behind the stainless bottle is to move the arch liner further forward. The washer bottle itself, the original one, was massive, and basically they just looked at what space they had and filled it.
Yep.
So in order to gain the clearance, we've had to use a stainless steel one. Had that fabricated. And
talking of clearance, I see you've got a different set of rock sliders. These ones are actually in-field. What make are those? Yeah,
so they're Pro Speed. I previously ran Shire fabrication sliders, which stick out about the same amount of protection. But the Pro Speed ones, they have the infill, which is a nice touch. They make it more of a step and a slider. They're also pretty heavy duty. You can use a high lift jack on them if you wanted to. Not that I have yet, but
I thought it's quite nice where the actual rock piece of it actually or the sill piece of it actually sticks out slightly further as well, isn't it?
Yeah, they offer some good protection. Yeah, they do offer some good protection, and obviously the coverage, the shape of them. Obviously, if you had the lower panels on,
yep,
the seal would go up against here.
Oh yeah, is that why you've got that taken off at the moment?
They're off at the minute. Again, they're being wrapped, coated and fettled and trimmed up. But the seal would sit on that part of the slider itself.
Yep.
Helps to keep some of the wetness and the muck out, really.
Yeah, we see you've been through the muck as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is, what is this? This is a 2000 and, what was it, 9, 10, 11?
Yeah, this was 2009, so it's one of the first Discovery 4s. It's got no DPF, but it's a 3 litre twin turbo, auto, 6-speed. Yeah, one of the first ones. It's an XS spec, so the step above base model. So it came with the leather seating, leather interior, and the upgraded or larger upgrade for 2009 screen. So that's the latest and greatest.
And I see you've got some stuff in the back half. Can I have a look around the back here as well? Because it's also kitted out for complete going away and trips and things. I see as well, before we open it up as well, I see you've got the canopy out there.
Yeah, we've got, that's just a straight pull out Howling Moon Safari awning, 2.1 metre by 1.8. I've also got a Foxwing awning, which is a full 270 awning. The roof tent's currently in the shed, but I've got a Howling Moon roof tent. Reason that's in the shed is with the lift. I can't get through the height barrier in work, so I've had to take that off at the minute. Yeah, that's a great one. That's a Stargazer tent, so you can. We've used it in the Pyrenees. We've taken the outer fly sheet off, and you can just open it up, and you can literally sit there at night, staring up at the sky.
Okay, so let's. Oh yeah, it's a bit muddy from the other day again.
Bit of muck on that. Salisbury muck, I think.
Oh, that's a laser as well on the back there. So you can blind anyone behind.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so if any BMW's tailgate here, you can.
Get a little flash.
Obviously not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a laser utility work lamp on the back, utility 85, which is a great spread on the back.
So have you had to uprate all of your power supply, I'm guessing, so you've got a huge amount of draw on these things?
Yes, well, these are powered by an auxiliary battery, which is in the engine bay, in the right-hand battery compartment. So if you had a left-hand drive car, the battery goes on the opposite side to ours. We've had to move the ABS lines and a few other things in there, so it's quite a tight space. But I've got a 80 amp hour battery in there, which powers a panel at the back as well that I've got inside the boot.
That's actually where I've got my winch control in there as well, because I've got the other sort of nice space to fit it in, but I haven't got a secondary battery.
D3s have got more space in there, I think. D4, they sort of crammed a bit more rubbish in there, pipes and lines and stuff like that. Shall I open it up? Yeah,
show us inside, see what's in there, because I see you've got loads of stuff in there as well.
Yeah, a lot of junk. ARB fridge, 47 litres, which has been ideal for a weekend away or extended trips in the Pyrenees. You're never more than a few days away from a shop, so you can stock up. That's powered by a panel down there, which is custom made by Andrew Foster, who's one of the forum members and group members and a good mate of mine.
Oh yeah, it's a nice little setup in there. I can see you've got multiple sockets in there. I can get a little view of that as well. Yeah. And then you've got a huge battery setup here as well.
Yeah, so that's 110 amp hour battery as well, and that runs an inverter. It can be powered by solar, and you can obviously, when you get to a camp, you can remove it from the vehicle, put it under the awning. When I've got the 270 up, you can put it by your table, power lights to the roof tent, which I often do, power awning lights, that sort of thing. Just keeps camp running a bit smoother.
And you've got a nice little addition in the top here of this basket, I see. Does that just clip out, does it, or what's the...
Yeah, so that's on a buckle. That drops down like that. I just keep a bit of oil in there, emergency beacons.
Yeah, and I also see the multimeter there, which is a critical thing for a D4, I think.
anything with as much electronics as these. Some dog bags, first aid kit, stuff like that.
And what difference did you find as well when you're driving with the diffs locked compared to open?
It can make a huge difference. I've been on some pretty tough terrain this last year. The car has probably been put through more punishment than it deserves over the last year. We've done some really tough trails, and it's hard to explain it, but when you can lock a diff, you can get to an obstacle, choose if you want to lock the diffs. If you feel like you do, press the button, and it just gives you that drive. You just feel it clicking in. The terrain response on these is a phenomenal system, but it's a reactive system. So it's based on wheel slip, and once it's got that wheel slip, it'll engage the centre locker or a rear locker if you've got a factory rear locker. But being able to actually engage it prior to getting to an obstacle just gives you the confidence and the drive. Especially with a high profile tyre, these are a 70 profile, so you can air these down to 20 psi, and then it'll just crawl up things
'Cause
quite well actually.
We've really noticed that as well. I know when you was driving, Harv, we up on that splashy lane, up that nice rock step there, where we've got the rear diff locker on it, which is it's helpful there as well. But you can still see that when you get to the front wheels, you've got to keep that power on at a moderate amount to allow it to actually work out where the front ones are. I'd really like to think about getting a front locker on there as well, because that you say it's a different type of driving. With it fully locked, you can just keep going the whole time. And I'm also interested to understand as well, because obviously my factory fitted rear diff lock, it's not always on. You obviously only see it come on when the lock symbol comes on, when it's actually already found some slip.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, obviously these, I'm assuming you switch it on. You say, I see the big rock step coming, I'm going to switch it on now. Yeah,
that's the idea behind it. It's a proactive system rather than a reactive system. You know if you're going to need it or not. I've had the vehicle for 5 years, so I've got a good amount of experience with it, unlocked, and now with the lockers have been fitted for roughly 2 years, coming up soon. There's not many that have got twin lockers at the time of doing it, unless someone's being very quiet about it and not shouting about it. This was the only Discovery 4 or LR4 with front and rear ARB lockers.
Yep. So if anyone has got front and rear, let's actually hear them. Let's comment, and we can see that as well.
The reason being, ARB never made a diff lock for the Discovery 4 for the rear. The front diff is the same as the Discovery 3. And when Joe Hodgson split JAS Land Rovers in York, when he split the rear diff, we found that actually the locker wasn't going to fit in the Discovery 4 rear diff.
Oh dear.
So what I was able to do, because it's a 6-speed with the same ratios as a Discovery 3, same axles, same prop shafts, we managed to get a Discovery 3 rear diff off an automatic, split that, fit the locker to that, and then fit the Discovery 3 rear diff into the Discovery 4. So it's not a straight swap. It's not a simple installation.
So it would have been easier on a D3 then, you say then? So it would have...
Yeah, well, ARB designed the front and rear lockers for the Discovery 3. Whether they didn't sell enough to warrant doing it for the Discovery 4 or not, I don't know. That's up to them. But they never made a Discovery 4 rear locker, but fitted to the Discovery 3 rear diff. Yeah, the Discovery 3 rear diff has the same ratios, same axles, same prop shaft. And
if you're wondering if your car's got a rear diff lock on it, we'll actually do a quick video as well showing you like how you can see. I know there's 3 ways you can actually see that, and you'll be able to see from my one where it is and how it works. And looking underneath, Eric, I can see you've got a load of protection under there. Even on the arms as well, you've got some protection down there.
Yeah, that's right. So I've got the Devon 4x4 front, sump and transmission and fuel tank guard. Yeah, front and rear lower arms are protected with a Pro Speed arm skid guard. I've got a Pro Speed rear diff protection plate, Shire fabrication compressor guard, Pro Speed rock sliders,
and the transmission guard as well in the middle, you said? So,
yeah,
so it's a complete plate pretty much front to back?
Yeah, pretty much front to back. There's only a small gap really. That's where the exhaust is, so it's nothing critical. The exhaust itself is a Griffin catback system, so it's pretty much straight piped all the way back from the cat.
Oh yeah, and we'll have to get a little sound of that, Harv, because I know that sounded really nice when you pulled up as well, so we'll get a bit of that footage.
Yeah, it's a little bit beefier than the standard.
Here's the scores for the D4 SVX. With the 33.3 Toyo Open Country mounted on Compomotives, gives a score of 8 for the wheels and tyres. Moving on to clearance, we didn't get a chance to measure this ourselves, but the extra tyre height and suspension extensions gave it a clear win over the D3, so we score that with a 8. Having a unique setup, both on front and rear with ARB lockers, plus the stock central locker gave it a near maximum score of 9, just missing out 1 point on the 6 gears. With the remapped 305 brake horsepower output and a massive 700 Newton meters of torque, this was the most powerful we've seen so far and gets a score of 6. Our first 10 out of 10 goes to lights with spots, LED upgrades and that great laser light bars. Winch and recovery was a pretty even setup to our D3, scoring a 9. On protection, the only thing we could dock a point for was not having a roll cage, so again here a 9. With the normal D4 comforts plus the fridge in the back, but having some noise from those big tyres, results in a 7 on the comfort scale. Finally, onto the coolness factor. Harvey rated that as a 14. And that gives a total score of 80, bringing it to the top of our leaderboard. Thanks Eric for showing us round, and everyone don't forget to check out Eric's D4 SVX.
Yep.
We'll put it up here for the link for you as well. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to us. We're going to be bringing some more of these JayTee rated. We're also going to be making some nice little stickers that will send you one of those as well. So everyone who gets a rating, if you've got a car that's interesting, please message us in on Instagram or on Facebook now as well, and we'd love to check out your car. Thanks again, Eric.
Yep, thanks for having me.